Of course, a partnership agreement is designed to capture an agreed collaboration that has been co-created as opposed to being imposed by one of the partners. In the new partnership agreements architecture, the highest level umbrella agreement is the Partnership Framework Agreement, or PFA. It is a strategic level agreement that defines the common interests, vision, and ambition to achieve between the ICRC and the national society. It aims to ensure a partnership of quality and mutual responsibility that seeks to achieve a high humanitarian impact. It is usually a multi-year agreement, usually lasting between 3 and 5 years, that focuses on national activities with the national society in country. The PFA also sets a standard framework for lower level operational program agreements and defines the partnership governance. So for example, while working in country A, and as our ambitions mean we are working more and more with the national society in the country, we may want to define our common interests and ambitions and discuss a PFA that we can negotiate and sign with the national society. The global thematic partnership agreements are multi-country and multi-year agreements. They're specifically designed for ICRC partnership with participating national societies, or PNS, in a certain thematic area, such as health, healthcare in danger, or national society development. It focuses on a geographic area or specific countries, working together with the national society of the operational country. This type of agreement is negotiated and signed at the headquarters level. Global thematic partnership agreements are a sub-agreement to the PFA. Therefore, all duties and provisions specified in the PFA and its annex on compliance duties apply also to the global thematic partnership agreement. One example is the financial development agreement we signed with the Norwegian Red Cross, who are a movement reference in financial development. That agreement and partnership started in 2019 in 5 African countries with the country's national societies to work on enhancing their financial management capacities.
What if I don't have a PFA, but I want to put in place a global thematic partnership agreement?
If there is no umbrella PFA with the national society, you will need to make sure that you enclose the annex on compliance duties to the global thematic partnership agreement, as well as insert all relevant legal mandatory clauses, which you would normally include in a PFA. Since a global thematic partnership agreement is considered as a mid to long-term commitment of partnership, we recommend that you negotiate a PFA with the national society. That being said, the best practice is to start our relationship with the national society with a PFA. So this is actually an uncommon situation. Usually we will have the PFA, which is usually the basis for other partnerships. And then this, as it evolves, we may be discussing with them a global thematic partnership agreement, which we will sign, and it will be under the umbrella of the PFA.
So I deal mainly with operational agreements. What do I need to know about those?
An operational cooperation agreement, or OCA, is a country-level agreement which apply to both national societies in their own countries and participating national societies in relation to a joint project or program. Under the thematic agreed in the PFA, the OCA will be drafted as a sub-agreement to the PFA to describe the specifics of a joint program or project. It will also include details such as the objectives, the needs and problems to be addressed, and the implementation method. An OCA can also be a sub-agreement to a global thematic partnership agreement, in which case it will be about the country-level implementation of the global thematic partnership agreement. These agreements should be owned by the field and drafted by the delegation together with the operating national society, and also in close consultation with HQ relevant métier in case of a global thematic partnership agreement. An example would be if we are managing a health program with the national society, the métier will want to draft an OCA which will define the program and all the matters relating to it. And as cooperation, we will need to support the process.
What if I want to start a joint project but there's no PFA in place?
So if there is no PFA in place, the annex on compliance duties should be attached to the operational cooperation agreement. But remember, as we said earlier, the best practice is to have a PFA as a start and as a base for our cooperation with the National Society.
Can you tell us about the Country Services and Support Agreement?
The Country Services and Support Agreement, or CSSA, is a bilateral agreement between ICRC and a PNS or the Federation carrying out activities outside the scope of ICRC's PFR. And it details services and security management support that the partner is seeking from ICRC. It is worth noting that we only consider entering into a CSA with a movement partner that is already working in partnership with the National Society of the country and participating in the country movement coordination mechanisms. The services and support provided by the ICRC facilitate the in-country presence of the partner, and therefore the CSSA must include details of the partner's work in the country with the National Society. The agreement may be standalone or complementary to an existing operational agreement with the ICRC, the National Society, and the PNS. The CSSA used to be called a Coordinated Activities Agreement, or CAA. This type of agreement is common in countries where ICRC has a large operation, such as South Sudan or Yemen, and where the delegation has the resources to provide services to the PNS or the Federation.
So I've heard that there are some new mandatory clauses that we need to include in the PFA. Can you explain them and what they mean for me in my work?
As you know, the ICRC is committed to fostering a culture of trust and integrity. In line with this commitment, it has adopted policies on fraud and corruption and on sexual misconduct. In addition, stakeholders and donors are demanding ICRC's action about compliance, integrity, and respect for ethical standards by its implementing partners. This is why ICRC has decided to reinforce its due diligence requirements to its partners, including to national societies. One of the mandatory annexes to the PFA is therefore the Partners Compliance Duties Annex, which includes clauses on the prevention of sexual misconduct, fraud, corruption, and aid diversion. These policies, which are designed to enhance our preparedness to prevent and react to violations, also apply to ICRC suppliers, implementing partners, and national societies as operational partners. The Cooperation Division, in consultation with the Global Compliance Office, the Finance Administration Division, and the Corporate Legal Office, have worked on compliance clauses that must form an integral part of the PFA with the national societies. The clauses are non-negotiable. In case of strong objection from the national society on certain clauses, you need to inform the Cooperation Division, which will take it further with relevant departments to find a solution. It is important to ensure that the Annex on Compliance Duties is attached to any existing PFA or when renewing or extending it.
Finally, last but not least, closing messages, key takeaways for the participants.
We ask that you draft the agreement following the agreement's architecture and templates that you find on the Move Wiki. Just follow and respect the instructions provided in the templates. Remember to attach the signed and dated Annex on Compliance Duties as instructed. Use the agreements as a tool for managing your partnerships with the National Society. Read the instructions on the Wiki regarding the agreement approval process and how to contact Geneva when support is needed. And don't forget to file a copy of the agreement following the Wiki's instruction. Good luck to all.